Hello and welcome back to Sending Without Wings. My name is Raina and this is the Taurus reading for Sun, Moon and Rising signs for the week beginning Monday the 14th of January through to the 20th of January 2019. So welcome. Please feel free to like, share or subscribe if you feel that way inclined. And I will start this reading off with some energy oracle cards and just to sort of see if I can tune into the energies that are coming up for my fellow Taurians for this coming week. So, what's going on for all our Taurus friends from the 14th to the 20th, please? I want to come out. See if we can get about 5 since we're looking at a 7-day period. Okay, I'm just going to check whether these are correct. Hey, thank you, Michael. Sorry, I put it there. Are these the correct energy or cards from left to right and right and left? Thank you. Okay, so let us see what we have. So the first card that we have is Rest and Rejuvenation. That there. Okay, so the message is kind of clear, but this gentleman's actually in a meditative, the lotus pose, basically. So the rest and rejuvenation actually can refer to meditation and mindfulness, just even getting back to nature, being out in nature, grounding yourself, making sure that you've done your grounding process on a regular basis. Like even if it's not on a daily basis, a somewhat regular basis would probably be a fantastic thing. Sorry, I'm just seeming a little bit awkward for a second because I have actually spilled a drink. And it's not good. I feel like a little amateur, but I'm not going to allow that to bother me. Okay, so let's get on with it, Taurians. So yes, we have Rest and Rejuvenation very much with the energies at the moment with the eclipse that we had, the 5th and the 6th. It was a partial solar eclipse, but it was quite intense. I felt it a few days early and it did have me wiped out till about the 9th, and the next day on the 10th, I actually felt quite a lot better. So I feel like this could be a lot of people have, normal everyday jobs that they go to, and kids and partners and things like that they have to do things for. So this could very much be that thing of having an Epsom salt bath, taking time out to meditate, going for a walk in nature, grounding yourself. Just nurturing for your soul, not allowing everyday life and your responsibilities to other people and other things outside of yourself to take priority so much that you are running yourself into the ground and depleted. And, if you are responsible for, let's just say if you're a parent and you've got, kids that have sports and then school and you have a job and you've got other responsibilities outside of work and, juggling transport and things like that, it can be pretty chaotic. But give yourself at least an hour every day. Like, just love yourself enough to give yourself that time where it's time for you only. And partly the reason why I'm saying that is because a few of these cards actually flipped over. And the next 2 cards are kind of telling the story. Because we've got anxiety, number 18. So that's 9, which is, close to 10, nearing completion. So whatever it is that you're feeling stressed about and anxious about, I believe this rest and rejuvenation and this are kind of tied in, and anxiety, it's like a mental prison. Like the window in behind her kind of looks like, prison cell bars to me. So it's kind of like she's in a mental prison because she's allowing her fears and her doubts and her anxiety to float around in her head and just get the better of her. So I'm actually going to keep these in front of me because I'm going to clarify all of these. Sorry, I'm just winging it with this reading, so please bear with me. Okay, so moving on from anxiety, we have indecision for this week from the 14th to the 20th. So indecision about, maybe changing jobs. Maybe you're not happy where you are. Maybe you're being guided to relocate, because I feel like this is she's got a cloak on. To me, she seems very mystical, like she's on a mission or, some sort of spiritual enlightenment journey. Almost like she's trying to get back home, but she can't work it out. That's the feeling I'm getting. It's like Little Red Riding Hood pops into my head, getting lost in the forest. Just having said getting lost in the forest, they're really, like, literally there are trees sort of towering over her. And I feel like this is that thing of sometimes we put a lot of time and effort into our spiritual growth and things like that, that we get so tunnel vision. It's almost obsessive. It's like you eat, sleep, breathe spiritual stuff. And yes, we're spiritual beings having a physical experience, and majority of our existence up until recently has been in purely physical terms, because, I don't know how long ago your ascension kicked in, but for a lot of us, it's quite new. So life as we knew it before all this happened also carries weight, and it also sort of contributes to make who you are in your life. So I believe it could be, just prioritizing, not being able to decide what's more important. Funny, I was actually going to put it directly underneath the rest and rejuvenation. So I feel like, prioritizing yourself, that indecision, like knowing that it's important, knowing that's part of your journey, that you have to learn to put yourself first and, nurture yourself and care for your body. But it's this indecision. It's like, but, I have a responsibility to family and blah, blah. All this time I've been the great parent and I've done everything and I've, burnt the candle at both ends and I've been okay. I get a bit tired, but I'm okay. I love them. I do it because I love them. That, I feel like that's the indecision. That's the conflict that you're having, is, you need to put yourself first, but you're not doing it. And that could be in any context. That could be, employers that ask you to do overtime and don't pay for it. Friends that are constantly sort of draining you of your energy and your time. But, it's basically like misery loves company. They come to you when they're in a dramatic sort of anxious state. So it's almost as if their anxious state can sort of rub off on you. Yeah. As we mentioned anxiety earlier. But on a much better note, moving on to the next energy oracle card we have for Taurians for this week, we have victory. And the gold in this really stands out to me. So that to me is Christ consciousness energy. And that's like, I'm thinking Mount Olympus, like the gods, they had like those little wreath-looking things as little crowns on their heads. So it's kind of like you're being crowned victorious in something really major. And I feel like this is a very internal, very spiritual thing. I don't know why. The color scheme really makes me sort of feel like there's a spiritual vibe to this. Could be wrong, but I will clarify all of these in a sec. Okay. Moving on, the next card that we have is the Garden Gate. Okay, so you can see that there. Okay, so the Garden Gate, it's like this little girl is standing there with a basket of flowers and she's staring off into the field on the other side of the gate, but she's still on this side. And it's almost like daydreaming about, what's to come and the bright future ahead of you, because you can see it is a bright, beautiful, sunny outlook there. It really is a beautiful future, but she's staring at that butterfly and she's kind of lost there. But just noticing the butterfly, it's a major transformation. Like, it's kind of like you've been going through a stage of having upgrades and downloads and leveling up and having, your gifts from past lives surfacing. This feels like to me that's one stage of your transformation has ended. And you've been able to shake out of that, the cocoon that you're in your chrysalis, after a caterpillar goes into the cocoon, which is chrysalis, and then the butterfly comes out after whatever period of time. So I feel like this is signifying that this week you're going to actually feel quite refreshed and renewed in the sense of your transformation through your ascension. I'm not sure if you can see that butterfly in front of her. Okay. All right. So that's really, really, really beautiful energy. Like, and because it's the fifth card that we've got, I feel like it is maybe a little bit later in the week because energies do take time to sort of filter down to us and things like that. And not everybody feels it as intensely as the next person. And you might be getting upgrades and downloads on a daily basis, but you're not necessarily going to feel it as much as the next person. It just depends. We're all individuals. So I'm just going to ask a question. Is there any more energy? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that I'm on the right track. Okay, and the final energy oracle card we have is the Angel of Strength. So as far as actual names of angels, I'm not even going to try and sum that up, but that's a beautiful energy, and it's got the colors of the solar plexus chakra as well as the sacral chakra, as well as the crown chakra. So I feel like this is, you're the angel of strength, not necessarily having an angel around you. Like, yes, of course, we've got angels around you and your guides around you. But I feel like this is you, because it's kind of like this woman sort of staring back out there. Like, yep, I've done it. And it's very much, it's sitting next to the garden gate, the garden and the gate. So it's kind of like, yep, this transformation has made you the angel of strength for yourself. That you're like a symbol of strength for yourself. Like, you're able to pick yourself up, and you've leveled up and you've gone through a whole bunch of stuff, but in the process, you've kind of found this deep underlying sense of confidence from it all. You go through a fire and you come out like a phoenix rising up from the ashes. Of course, you're going to feel proud of yourself. Why would you not? So I really feel like that's a really beautiful energy. And being a Taurian myself, like, yeah, I like this. But now I'm actually going to clarify with the normal Rider-Waite Tarot. I did give all of my decks quite a big shuffle prior to starting this reading, but I will. Arch Angel Michel, can I please clarify rest and rejuvenation? Any messages I've missed from that card? Anything else you'd like to add? I feel like it's saying this one, but I'll check. Is this the correct card to clarify rest and rejuvenation? I'm going to do 3 each. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do 3 tarot clarifiers per energy oracle card. And I'll try and shuffle this one so it's a little less loud. Wow, okay. This one, clarifying. Okay. All right, fill that in reverse. That's very, very cool. Okay. Whoa. Sorry. Is this the correct card for the last clarifier for that? Okay, wow. Okay. Sorry, just bear with me for a sec. I'm going to pull all the clarifiers and then we'll go through it. And then I will actually get another deck and I'll pull some more clarifiers so that we can make sure that we get as many messages for as many people out there as possible. And this is kind of general, and I know Archangel Michael does bring through a lot of very spiritual messages, especially related to ascension in these readings. That's just been the gist of it. Or, I guess I vibrate to that frequency a little bit more as well. But yeah, that's been what it is so far. Just got a few cards I'm just going to check. 6 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and are they clarifying? 7 of Pentacles is for indecision. All right. So just so that I'm not being too quiet, for rest and rejuvenation, we have 3 clarifiers. We have the King of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Hierophant, which is kind of interesting because it's kind of, if you wanted to, I feel like the sequence of it would be Page of Cups, Hierophant, and then the King of Cups. It's kind of like the page who is the messenger of love, making this beautiful, beautiful offering, which is, way more than just his cup of love. Making that offer, which could lead to a union of some description, whether that's marriage, cohabitation, just actually getting together and starting to see somebody, because they kind of confess their feelings to you and sort of like paint this picture of, this is the picture I want with you. This is what I see us doing, because I just think you're absolutely amazing. And I think we'd make an amazing team, and we could have our little 10 of Pentacles, like create our own empire together. Yeah, I really feel like it is that kind of an energy. And then with the Hierophant, it's very traditional. It's a Taurus card as well. So the fact that this is a Taurus reading for the week and you've got your own card there, that's pretty cool. I like that. But this time, yeah, it definitely, like, this guy looks like a priest to me, like in the Hierophant. He's sitting there looking very, very serious. And what's the word that means respectful, but, silent and not somber. Somber's not the word that I'm thinking. Somber's like, sad. But something along those lines, respectful rather than sad. That kind of an energy. I'm interpreting things so I go, okay. And then after the Hierophant, we've got the King of Cups, clarifying it. So rest and rejuvenation could lead to your frequency rising so much so that somebody that may or may not have been in your life all this time is going to step up and make an offer that you're just going to think, wow, all my Christmases have come at once. How did I deserve this? Or where did this come from? Like, I feel like it's almost unexpected, or like just when you give up, this miracle happens and you're like, oh my God, he's finally here, he or she, I feel that energy, definitely. Okay, and sorry, I know I've said I'm going to shuffle and then talk, but I start talking, don't I? So those are the cards that we had clarifying the rest and rejuvenation. So yes, moving on from that, the Hierophant, we've got King of Cups. So I feel like this, proposal, which very likely could lead to marriage or some sort of strengthening of bonds or coming closer together, is going to make the Page of Cups level up and mature in a sense that he's going to become the King of Cups. Now, Cups is very emotional card, can be water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be somebody that's quite an emotional person, someone with those characteristics or traits. But, King of Cups is not a bad character. He's not immature. He's not anything like that. He's just quite emotive. And if he can, learn to balance his emotions and rise above it, which King of Cups, he's actually sitting on a ledge above all the water, which is what signifies emotions. So it's a person that has the ability or potential, maybe tendency even, to get very carried away with their emotions. However, I think they've gone through a period of growth, and I think this proposal and this coming together is actually going to make them level up more, and they're quite well put together. They're not kind of like excessively emotional to the point that it can create drama and issues for people, especially if it's in a partnership of any description, whether it's, friends, whoever you're seeing, like in a relationship with, family, colleagues, anything really. Okay. So for clarifying the anxiety card, the three cards we have are the Six of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and the Hermit card. So I feel like with anxiety, there is concern and fear of an unfair situation. Like, this guy's giving money to one person and not giving money to another. And I feel like this is, injustice or unfairness, playing favorites, some sort of unfairness. And this could be in the workplace because it's Pentacles. So, somewhere in the physical world, it doesn't have to be in your workplace. It could be school, like teacher's favorite kind of thing, or someone's getting away with something that they shouldn't be getting away with. Like, yeah, he looks quite smug because, he's just giving his money to whoever he chooses to. It's kind of like, yes, I'm so loaded, I'm so special, I'm going to, play favorites and give money to whoever I decide is, making me feel good or whatever, serving whatever purpose. It's a very unpleasant power over kind of energy. And because it's linked with the anxiety card, I feel like, yeah, you're worried about this. But the thing is, the more you worry about something, the more you're bringing it into your life. If you spend the same amount of energy you put into worrying about stuff, into focusing in visualizing what you actually want to happen, my God, man, you'll be making your dreams come true, like within a matter of days. Like you'll think of something and it'll show up at your door within a few hours. It's crazy. Like I have been in that sort of state at times, and it completely blows your mind, but then you lose that groove, like you lose that flow, and yeah, it can be really tricky to get it back again. But it's a combination of your frequency, the strength of your visualizations, how much actual energy you send to it, and how much love you're projecting to that. Is knowing that you're worthy of whatever you're trying to manifest is really important. Okay. Sure, somebody needs to hear that. So we've also got the Two of Wands. So somebody's worried about a decision. I'm surprised this didn't come out with indecision, but I feel like because it's linked with anxiety, I feel like it is a worry or a concern. Maybe you're concerned about somebody else having to make a decision and worrying that it may go against what your preferred outcome is. If you can release your attachment to certain situations, it makes life a lot easier. But if this is to do with the workplace and it's about a promotion or a job application or something like that, I can understand how you would be concerned. But seriously, give your concerns to your guardian angel and guides and things like that, because they'll be able to handle it in a lot better way than you can. And they're probably a little bit more equipped to do something about it, to make it turn out in your favor than you possibly are at the time. Yeah, not to say that you can't manifest and, create your own existence, but it's kind of like there's a decision, but it's a no-brainer kind of decision. It's kind of obvious. You've got the world in your hands. Go for it. Yeah. So fear and anxiety, there's really no place, because whatever this decision is, whether you've got 2 jobs that have been offered to you, or, you're at a crossroads of some description and you have a decision to make, whether to maintain, toxic, relationships or friendships that are past due, and you can just sort of go, oh, why am I even bothering? Like every time you think, oh, maybe it'll be a bit better this time. No, it's not. And, you get sick of rolling your eyes at yourself all the time. So, yeah, even if you're a slow learner, I'm sure we'll all get it at some point. Yeah. And also, anxiety has the Hermit card with it. So, with the Hermit card, it's about going within, listening to your own intuition. So, going into meditation. If you can't go into meditation, just find a mindfulness exercise that you can stomach, that you can handle, get your head around, kind of thing. Because mindfulness is precisely the same thing as meditating. It's shutting down the mind's chatter and actually just being in the moment and, in a silent space, so that you can hear the intuition from your soul and your guidance, that's coming through. Because it's a highly spiritual time to be alive right now, guys. And whether you notice it or not, there's spiritual leveling up going on for everybody. Okay, I'm just going to check some of the other cards that had fallen out for it. The following cards. So, guys, indecision set 4 of steps. No? Silly things. Right? None of these. Okay. Excellent. They were all accidental. So now moving on to the indecision card that we had. Arch Angel Michel, can I get 3 clarifiers for indecision, please? Okay, that's 1. And 2. Okay. I feel like they might actually be correct, but as always, to avoid any error, we shall check. Alright, Arch Angel Michel. With the correct clarifiers? Any particular order? No. Okay. All right. So the indecision card, the one where I said it was like crossroads, like Little Red Riding Hood getting kind of lost and feeling a bit overwhelmed almost. Yeah. Okay. So the first card that actually fell out for this was the World card. So I feel like you've come to the end of a major cycle. Like it's kind of things coming full circle. Like you'll go through certain phases of your life where you might come in contact with some sort of institution or some, idea or hobby or something like that. And then you'll find yourself many, many years later somehow coming into contact with that same subject, whether it was an institution, a hobby, whatever it was. But it's kind of like you might lose touch with certain things, but they come full circle back into your life. Like you started something and it faded out of your life, but you must sort of have your closure and sort of seal it off to say goodbye in a sense. And I believe that this may even be because it's with indecision. It's kind of like, well, you can see that this cycle has ended and that time is over, but are you holding on to it? Are you being indecisive about closing that door so that you can move on to the next chapter of your life? Or indecision about a trip that you possibly thinking to take, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a business trip, whatever. This could have to do with travel, overseas travel, long distance. But this also signifies, leveling up and evolving in some way, like whether that's finishing some course of studies, whether it's having gone through certain upgrades on your ascension journey. It could mean many, many things for various different people. So, I don't know, maybe it's kind of like you're trying to manifest, you're not seeing the results, so you're a bit iffy or a bit, questioning your abilities to manifest, or whether it's possible. Next card we have is the Tower card. So, interesting. I am going to clarify these as well, but just the vibe I'm getting from this with indecision, it's kind of like knowing that there's something in your life that needs to go. It's kind of way past due, like, it's so past due, you can smell it coming 5 kilometers away, that kind of thing. It's like unstable foundations, connections, friendships, associations, gym memberships, even, like, whatever it may be, like, I just heard online dating accounts. Well, if you're trying to shift your frequency and be more serious and, calling your soulmate and attract that, being on multiple dating sites and all of that is really not telling the universe that you're committed to that in a sense, because you're kind of spreading yourself quite thin. If you know your worth, you're going to maybe consider that in a different way. Like, I can also see it from the other side of the perspective as well, that, okay, you got to be in it to win it, if you're not out there in some way. But maybe you need to get out there in the physical sense, because whatever you're holding on to is unstable. Like, it's built on unstable foundations and it's not going to last. I feel like you're indecisive about letting that go and moving on from, old patterns of behavior, old ways of doing things, whether it's addictions, toxic friends, family, partnerships of, whether it's business, someone that you're seeing for a little while where you're just like, okay, I don't know about this, but it's better than nothing. Like, don't do that to a person that is so highly offensive. Like, respect yourself and them enough just to not bother if that's how half-assed you are about it, really. Like, I really feel that. And, anybody that does that to another person is quite, offensive in a sense. And I understand the, hurt that can create that kind of behavior. Totally get it. But doesn't mean that condones it, yeah? Okay. The last card that we have clarifying this indecision card is the Ace of Pentacles. So this one is about divine guidance to do with some sort of business, starting a spiritual business, turning a hobby into a business venture, whatever it is something that's very inspired, and it could be very, very promising and very beneficial for you in the physical world aspect, financially, making you more comfortable, job security, whatever it may be. But this is something that's like a hand from the sky has just handed this to you. It's kind of like, gold-plated wrapping present from heaven just for you, delivered FedEx to your door, and your doorbell rings, you open it, see what is there, and scream and slam the door in their face. That's the energy I'm getting here because of the fact that it's with the indecision card. So it's kind of like whatever this is that you've been guided or you've been inspired to do, you're onto a winner. Like, don't doubt this. Like, this is good. Ace of Pentacles is like, yes, you're going to have to work for it, but my friend, the benefits and the abundance, the prosperity that's going to come afterwards is so well worth it, and you deserve it. But fear of making this decision and taking a leap of faith and taking yourself out of your comfort zone is what the problem is here. I really feel that. Okay, so let's get another 3 clarifiers for the last 3 cards. Sorry if this is shaking, guys. Okay, so Archangel Michel. That's 1. I get 2 more clarifiers for the victory card. Okay, is that one? Sure. One more, please. Oh, okay. Interesting. 3 court cards for the victory card. I'm just going to check if they're right. Are they all correct? No. Okay. All right. I'm just going to get the rest of them. Put this deck away and I can grab the other one. Archangel Michael, please clarify the garden gate, please. Garden gate. 3 for the garden gate, please. Okay. 2 more. Too many. All right. 1 more. Okay, Archangel Michael. Is there a correct card? Any one of these that fell? Was that one? Thank you. All right. Okay, can I please have 3 clarifiers for the Angel of Strength card here? 1. Well, that's 2. Angel of Strength. Whoa, okay. Two of Pentacles, clarifying it. Are those the correct clarifiers also? Thank you. Okay. Just going to put my cards there. Okay, so the victory card, that was that lovely card there, is clarified by 3 lovely court cards, which is the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So I feel like this could actually be referring to like 3 different individuals in your life. This could even be like a mother figure. Being a Taurian myself, that's definitely probably the context, because this could be Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Very passionate person, very enthusiastic about life. They're a beautiful soul, really, but fire signs can be a little bit bossy. The ego can play a part, especially for those that haven't sort of progressed very far on their spiritual journey. They're, Aries in particular, like I know many Aries, can be quite prideful and their ego can get involved, but that doesn't mean that they don't have massive hearts. And, if they love you, they'd do practically anything for you. So they're a beautiful person, but I feel like this week might bring a victory of some description with male or female. That could be fire sign or an earth sign or a water sign. And I don't usually go for signs, but when you've got a card like that, victory, clarified by, 3 court cards, and they're all different things. So you've got, Cups is water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We've got Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo here, and we've got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo there. But, I've explained the Queen of Wands already. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is somebody that's very, very slow moving, very, very hard working. Someone that's actually quite spiritually involved, but they're also very earthly as well. But they're still, they're working on themselves. They're not the king energy yet. So it's almost like stages of maturity. You've got the page, and then you've got the knight, and then you've got the king and the queen, So it's still someone that's getting to know themselves and getting their feet in a sense, I feel. But there's a sense of victory. And this could be different people. This could be somebody in your workplace, because pentacles can sometimes signify work or the things in the physical world that, relate around the things that you can see, smell, taste, touch, hear. But yeah, it's kind of like there's a long road ahead, and this is a very slow moving energy as well. So I'm not sure where that fits, but you can place it where it does. With the Knight of Cups, okay, Knight of Cups is kind of like the ultimate knight in shining armor, riding up to the castle to make his proposal to the princess that's in the tower, or whatever you want to call it. So I feel like if this is the return of somebody in your life that, a lot of twin flames are coming into union. I feel like this could be the return of a twin flame. Of course, you'd be feeling pretty victorious if, you were together, things separated, and then all of a sudden epiphanies happen, ascension happens, people level up, do so much healing and stuff, mature and evolve, and then they kind of like, okay, we got work to do, my love. Let's do this. Definitely a sense of feeling victorious there. But I feel like there's some really beautiful energy for our Taurians out there this week. And I really hope that I'm picking up on a lot of members of the collective through doing it like this. Okay, so the next card that we had was the Garden and the Gate. And it's clarified by 3 interesting cards. We've got the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about somebody walking away from love, but potentially returning. This is possible that somebody is walking away to seek greener pastures. The grass is not always greener on the other side, but some people choose to believe it is, so they may walk. But this could also represent somebody that's gone and looked for the greener pastures, find out exactly what they were from experience, and decided to return. With the butterfly in the energy oracle card, I feel like they've gone through a transformation, and that's what's making them return, because they've sort of see things in a different way. They've evolved and matured, and they choose to make a major change in their life or make a shift for the better. And that's really, really beautiful. And anyone should be commended to try and make changes in their life for the better. Okay, feeling like this should be coming out next. So then we've got the Justice card. So this could even tie in with the Garden and the Gate and the Eight of Cups, because if this person that walked away looking for greener pastures is coming back, you'd be feeling like justice is served because of whatever reason, like, maybe misunderstandings were had and things were said where you were taken the wrong way and labeled as something that you may or may not have seen yourself as. But, it takes a while for people to learn that what you're called by one person is actually how they feel about themselves. And it's really a projection of their own issues. And when you can understand that, it doesn't really matter what anybody calls you or says to you, like others' words and opinions become very, very insignificant when you know yourself and you love yourself. But, sticking to the point, that I feel like this energy is kind of like justice is served. Whatever's happening this week, whatever's going to unfold, you feel like the right decision has been made in whatever it is. And this could also signify, people finalizing divorces, instigating divorces, taking out restraining orders or moving out, separating property. Like, when people separate and go through divorces and things like that, and they're cohabitating, you have to split your property up and all of that kind of thing. So they could be like finalization of some sort of court proceedings, whatever description the court proceedings may have happened. It's kind of like the end of one cycle, the beginning of another. Definitely that butterfly is popping back into my head. And this justice being served is the little transformation where the butterfly is set free to go out and, explore its life and its new life, its new phase of life, which is really, really beautiful, because all this time it was crawling around on the ground. And now it can fly and it can soar as high as it can. Can you just fathom the absolute joy where you're kind of like this grub crawling along, hoping you're not going to get squashed by somebody. And you go through this experience of hibernating and going to your little cocoon, making like the hermit. And then you come out and you're like, wow, I could go up, I could go down, I could go wherever I want. It's up to me how much I'm going to flap those wings and get there. And it's true. With the ascension process, it's like you find your wings. And it's up to you how hard you're going to flap and how much effort you're going to put into it and how high you're going to soar. The sky is the limit, and you're the only one that decides that. Okay? I'm sure we Taurians need to know that because, we're earth signs. Yeah, too close to the ground often. All right, the last card that we had clarifying the Garden and the Gate is the Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles is traditionally about somebody in very much a lack mentality, or a miser, somebody that's, freaking out about every cent they've been trying to hold on to it because they're worried that if they spend this, then they won't have enough for their needs, or they won't have it's kind of like a person that wants to build up a nest egg, but getting so caught up in building up the money that they're kind of making themselves miserable and eating like they're living on the street or something. Like, no offense to anybody that might know anybody homeless and stuff like that. Like, that's a horrible scenario. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you make half decent money, you have a comfortable home, you have all the things that you need, but because you're on this mission to save money, it's kind of like you start eating things out of a can and toast for 5 days a week to try and save money. No, don't do that, man. You can save money as well as be comfortable and give your food nutritious body. No, your body nutritious food. Okay, I'm getting tongue-tied. So yeah, if you are on a thing where you're trying to save money for whatever reason, holiday, whatever it may be, don't take it to extremes, because you're kind of telling the universe, oh no, I don't have enough. And you're focusing so much on that. That's what's happening for you. Like, you're not going to have enough. And when you kind of just live and you do what you got to do and spend on the things that you need to spend on when you require them, somehow, some way, all your needs are met. And when you need that extra cash flow, when your next expense comes up and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to need money for this, somehow it will appear. It always does. Like, as soon as I've been able to solidify my faith in the fact that my needs will be met at every given moment, it's happened for me. Okay, I didn't actually intend this reading to go for this long, but I'm going to run with it, and I really hope you guys don't mind. Okay, so the last card is the Angel of Strength card. We have the King of Swords clarifying it. So the King of Swords, definitely someone who's embodying kind of an angel of strength. This is a person that's gone through a lot of emotional pain. They've healed it, and they've matured from it, and they're able to express their feelings and speak about their emotions without sort of feeling the emotions, like reliving it, like tearing open a wound, that kind of thing. So definitely Angel of Strength totally ties in with the King of Swords. Now, whether that's you or somebody around you, they've gone through some major healing, and they're standing in their power. I feel like they've kind of gone through some stuff, and they've gotten to know themselves. And yeah, it's just someone that's really matured a lot, maybe in a very short period of time. Also, there's butterflies in the background on his throne. So I feel like this person's gone through a major transformation, and it's kind of like, wow. Like, I feel like, yeah, somebody that's just become the absolute best version of themselves that they could possibly want to be. And I'm sort of feeling that because the other two cards that came out are Nine of Cups and Two of Pentacles. So Nine of Cups, I feel like this is somebody's very deep, heartfelt wish coming true. This person finding their strength and coming through this transformation and coming out the other end because they've come into balance with their own masculine and feminine. They've balanced their 3D world and their ascension and, been able to evolve spiritually. And, they've traveled over some very turbulent water to get there. Like, they've gone through, Dark Night of the Soul and all the other fun stuff. So it really has been a long time coming, but they're really managing to balance their life out and their heart and their mind out as well. And that's really, really beautiful. So I'm pretty sure, I get the feeling that kind of sums up all the energy that we've got there. And considering we're over 43 minutes already in this reading, just going to check. All right, I'm going to, actually, just one sec. Okay, I'm going to go with the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, because the Divine Feminine energy is well and truly on the earth, and I'm not sure if you guys can feel it, but there have been sort of peaks and troughs in the energy, and there are times when you sit there and, almost in a meditative state, but you can, how can I explain it? You almost feel like you're surrounded by this energy of love, and you just feel this blissy state. It's almost like this warm, fuzzy blanket around you. It's yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. It's pretty impressive. All three guys. Yes. All right, so we've got three goddess guidance cards. First one is Isis, past life, which says this situation involves your past life memories. So yeah, this could be, some of these people that you're feeling victorious with, or they're coming back to your life. They could be connections from past lives. And I'm definitely feeling a very twin flame vibe right there when I'm saying past lives, because twin flames know. Past lives are the connection that we have, generally speaking. Okay, and the other one is Athena, inner wisdom. It says, you know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. So that's the card right there. But I'm going to put these up here, and I'm actually going to read the message from the card really quickly, and then I'm going to pull maybe one or two Archangel Michael cards, whatever he sees fit, and then I will say goodbye for today. So I will try and make my readings a bit shorter, especially for the weeks coming up. Because I believe next week I'm planning on doing the whole zodiac for the eclipse and full moon, as well as the weekly readings. So I'm going to have my hands full. But I love doing readings, so it's a good thing. Okay, so Athena. Message from Athena. I'm happy to assist you. However, you'll be most thrilled when you first consult your own inner bank of knowledge. For I assure you that this situation is already resolved and that you have access to all the wisdom that the universe supplies. To access this wisdom, you must quiet your mind, surrender all worries and other concerns to the loving and almighty power of the universe. Close your eyes and note the thoughts and feelings that come streaming into your consciousness. If you like, you can ask me to give you a signal that you've heard your inner wisdom correctly. But have faith, I assure you that you have heard, and that the guidance brings you and your loved ones very good news indeed. So yeah, if you're getting some sort of inner guidance and you're kind of doubtful, my friends, this is kind of your confirmation. There's a few meanings to this. It says stop procrastinating, stop giving away your power to others, trust your gut instinct, don't second guess yourself, because your first instinct is usually the right answer anyway, and you are correct about whatever you're concerned about. Or notice recurring ideas and take action on them, because those recurring ideas are actually your guidance coming from your team. So there you are. And then I will read you Isis. The message from Isis is, your roots upon this planet are strong and deep, and some of the roots have anchored you in past memories from faraway times. These roots have anchored you so deeply, in fact, that you are paralyzed when it comes to moving forward. I've called your attention to this condition so that you may unearth and uproot past memories. Sometimes you bury those memories to shield yourself from psychic pain or embarrassment, so you won't remember those awkward moments when life tested you to the maximum. Reveal those lessons to yourself now, strong sorceress, and move forward with the confidence that you have sage wisdom behind you. And I sort of stumbled there because I'm like, sorceress or sorcerer. We're not talking just to females. So the various meanings are, one, get a past life regression to gain insights and answers. Two, ancient fears from a past life are surfacing right now. So if you've got irrational fears coming up and you're like, where is this from? It's a past life, my friend. And I'm sure when you realize that, it does help to sort of, distance yourself from the emotional aspect. We've got ancient fears from a past life are surfacing right now. There you are. You've known the person you're inquiring about in a past life. Current situation relates to a childhood issue. So, childhood, past life, sort of, distant past kind of energies. All right, let's see if I can finish this off in 50 minutes. Sorry, I'm not even going to worry about the time. As long as the right messages come through for as many people as possible, I'm happy. And I know the right people that need to see these messages will see them. So good. Archangel Michael has got it. Archangel Michael, what guidance do you have for all the Taurians for the week of the 14th to the 20th of January 2019, please? Can I get one card from you? Okay. I think it's one of them. Oops, there's 4 here, so I'm just going to quickly check. One of these cards are around. Results. Anymore? Cool. So, the card that we got from Archangel Michael is positive thoughts create positive results. And the prayer says, Divine love and wisdom, I call upon you now. I know that my mind and emotions are eternally and continuously connected to you. I ask my higher self to be aware and conscious of the love and light that is within every person and situation. That is a really beautiful, beautiful card right there. And I really hope you can see it. It's like beautiful illustration. Like, these cards are quite new to me, so I'm still getting familiar with them. But I will read you the message from the book. I feel like these books actually do give a little bit more insight into it. Yeah. Okay, so the card from Archangel Michael says, this situation calls for uplifting thoughts, which are the magical ingredients you've been looking for. Although you may protest that you already have a positive mindset, Archangel Michael advises you to purge your thoughts and speech of any worries or other negativity that could diminish your manifestations. Michael says that you can tell how constructive your thoughts are by paying attention to recent events in your life, as there is a direct correlation between positive thoughts and positive results. He'll help buoy your spirits to a truly beneficial level so that your experiences are happy and welcome. Wow. Okay, so some possible meanings are adopt a daily or hourly practice of saying positive affirmations. Man, hourly, and you're going to completely transform your life. Read a book or take a class on positive affirmations. Avoid blaming yourself or others. Instead, focus on solutions. And rather than worrying about something, pray and practice a loving, compassionate state of mind. There you are. So, my lovely, lovely Taurians out there, hoping you have a wonderful week, sending you lots and lots of love and light and blessings. And I shall see you next week for the following reading. Take care. Oops.